Once upon a time, I lived in the San Juan Islands. Gene Burnett from GeneBurnett.com here. I lived in the San Juan Islands, and on a little private island at the backside of San Juan Island in the American San Juan Islands. And my girlfriend's family had a little cabin out there, and we moved out there from Manhattan. So it was a culture shock, but it was really a good one. And I'm really grateful to that relationship, because that's what got me out to the West Coast. And it was on that island in this little cabin that I was deciding what to do next. I had quit music as a career idea, and I decided that I was going to pursue something physical that I loved and learn how to teach it. And I took yoga and Tai Chi when I got back to Seattle and fell in love with Tai Chi immediately, and that was the one I'm still doing to this day, almost 40 years ago. So when I was on the island, I was interested in that kind of stuff, but there was no opportunity. This is a little wild island. There's 9 people on this island year-round, maybe, and year-round maybe even smaller. So I had an opportunity to go to a meditation class at this geodesic dome that this guy had on the San Juan Islands, and so I went to this meditation class, and it was taught by a little Southeast Asian gentleman. I think he was from Vietnam, but if he wasn't from Vietnam, he was from Thailand. One of those two, I'm pretty sure. And I think his name was Dhiravamsa. But that's a pretty common, I think that's a Buddhist name that you take on. So I'm not sure if that was his name or not. He did not speak very good English. There was at least one senior student there that had been with him for a while, and I sort of interpreted for him. But it was an interesting class, and my girlfriend and I hitchhiked home from it, I believe, in the middle of the night on the San Juan Islands with the stars shining overhead. So it was a nice night. But we hitchhiked home to Roach Harbor, where we hopped in a boat and boated across to our little island and then walked across that thing. So it was a while before we got home that night. So I think there was a Tai Chi class there too. I think I took one Tai Chi class from, I think the student of the meditation guy taught a Tai Chi class, and so I took, and this is way before I found my teacher and got really into Tai Chi, but I was in the deciding phase there. So this meditation teacher, he did not speak English very well, but he did give me a piece of advice, not me personally, but it was a very small class. So he gave this piece of advice to all of us, and I took it personally. And it's so simple, and it's so effective, and it's just so damn elemental that it's really easy to not do. Even for me, it's easy to not do. I still have to remind myself, even after all these years. The wisdom he gave me is contained in let's see, I'm gonna say 4 words, but 4 words is only the conclusion. It's the first part is also 4 words. I'm typing this into this note that I have here. Okay, there we go. So it's 8 words. Ready? Where you feel pain, go there and breathe. And I know it's so simple. People always say, oh, breathe into it, keep breathing, don't forget to breathe. But to be in the situation that you're in, assuming you have the luxury to, I mean, there are situations where you don't. And so I'm assuming you have the luxury to feel what you're feeling and feel the pain. It could be heartache. It could be pain in your back. It could be the strain of a yoga, discomfort of a yoga position. It could be the pain of losing a job, the pain of losing a house, or the pain of a stub toe, or the pain of arthritis, or the pain of digestive distress. Any of these things. The idea is to relax, but not collapse. So there was a little bit of a meditation posture involved as we were talking about this. And then allow your attention to go to the area that you feel the pain in. Like, where do you actually feel the pain? Sometimes that's not easy to identify, and you just have to have a generalized sense and you just breathe. But sometimes you can feel it's your heart, it's your eyeballs, it's your low back, it's your shoulders, it's your stomach, and bring your attention to the area that the pain is happening, and then breathe, meaning breathe with a conscious focus on both your breathing and the area that hurts. So as you exhale, your whole body relaxes, but your intention is on the part that hurts. And then when you inhale, your whole body expands, but your intention and attention is on the part that hurts, right? Wherever that is. So you breathe into your heartache. You breathe into your digestive distress. You breathe into your arthritis, the place where the pain is. Now, I'm not saying this will fix it. I'm not saying this will cure anything, although I have had things literally go away from doing this. I usually do this, I'm going to be honest with you, as a last resort when I've tried everything else. But seriously, it's usually not my first resort for some reason. Initially you have to tolerate, you have to deal with more pain. You have to go to it instead of away from it. And there's a lot of forces selling you and encouraging you to avoid what's painful, Look away, look away. And I'm not saying dive into painful situations or seek out pain. The admonition here is where you feel pain, you're already in pain. It's not a question of whether you're going to move towards it or away from it. It's here, it's happening. It can be very beneficial, and this guy's advice was absolute. He just said, this is it. This is what you should do. Where you feel pain, go there and breathe. And so I take that as kind of a mirror. I don't take that as an order. It's kind of a, it reflects back to me. And it's always worth at least a try, for me anyway. It's always worth at least a try. I remember one time I had a digestive, I had a couple of kind of like blocks. It was weird. It was almost like a twist in my gut, and I seem to have fixed it by staying away from garlic and also staying hydrated. When I was less hydrated, I was more prone to this. I haven't had one of these in 6 or 7 years, but like I had one, like a mild one, and towards the end of, it was the last time I had one of these, and it feels like a very painful, localized, small intestine kind of seizing, like a painful fist in the gut. It doesn't feel like long intestine though. It feels like gut, and it's sometimes accompanied by other things, but in this case it was just that. And I just laid down, got myself comfortable, laid on my back, and I just breathed into that pain. And after about 15 or 20 minutes, it just seemed to disappear. And just for insurance, I kept it up for another half an hour. So it was a total of an hour, 50 minutes to an hour of just lying there, taking as full a comfortable deep breath as I could and focus right on that area, especially on the exhales to relax and release, and whatever it was untied itself and things got better. Usually it's not so dramatic. It's usually more like it eases up. I feel like I have some perspective from it. It's happening to me, it's not me. And it's been really some of the best advice I've ever gotten in those 8 words. It's very, very apparent to me when I see people in pain, particularly in media situations where they have a certain amount of face to save, and they don't want to show themselves in pain. But I can tell sometimes that they're just habitually not in a habit of meeting their discomfort at all. They medicate or distract themselves immediately, but you can just see them trying to control the pain by not breathing and all that kind of stuff. And it just, from my experience, it just perpetuates the pain. It almost cements it into your body. Whereas the breathing will initially, your pain level might go up, and then it crests, and then it kind of moves through. That's been my experience. But the initial feeling of it is kind of like climbing a mountain. And, you know, if you're not in the habit of doing that, totally get why you don't. It's not pleasant. I would suggest, if this is a challenge for you to do when you're in some serious pain, that just try it when you have a headache. Just try it when you have a sore joint. Just relax your body and put that, you know, joint maybe on a pillow so it's got a little bit of extra support, and just feel into the pain and breathe and breathe and breathe and see what happens. It certainly isn't going to make anything worse, and it's not going to cost you much. So I recommend go there and breathe when you feel pain, and not as a replacement for serious medical attention or anything like that. Just even if you're in the doctor's office, if you're getting dental work done and it hurts, breathe, go to the pain and breathe. Don't try to run away from it. It makes it worse, in my experience. So anyway, you know, curious if you have a similar experience, or if similar advice has ever been given to you, or if you tried it and it didn't work. I hope this is helpful. It sure has been helpful to me over the years, many times. And many of those times it was the last thing I could think of. But it does work for me. So thanks for watching. Appreciate it. If you want to know more about me, you can explore this channel, YouTube channel, or you can go to geneburnett.com. Thanks for watching.